Hello, Houston, this is 10.
Go ahead, 10, Houston.
Okay, I just hit command reset so I get my high gain back, and you're locked on auto track narrow.
Affirmative.
Hello, Houston, Apollo 10.
Go ahead.
Roger, at 5230, could you give us, at 5230 when we start this pass, could you give us our distance from the Earth and also our distance from the Moon and our relative velocity, over?
Roger, Tom. We'll be with that. Get that up to you just in a minute.
Apollo 10, this is Houston, over.
Go ahead, over.
Roger, I've got your distances from Earth and Moon and velocities when you're ready to copy.
Go ahead, over.
Roger, distance from the Earth, 168,375 nautical miles. Velocity with respect to the Earth, 5008 feet per second. Distance from the Moon, 45,313 nautical miles. Velocity with respect to the Moon, 5048 feet per second. Over.
Roger. So we're pulling away from it, huh?
Yes, indeed. And are you all making plans to consume any food before turning in this evening? We don't see it in the flight plan.
That doesn't mean we won't do it because he left it out of the flight plan.
If we get hungry, we're going to eat, over.
Listen, there's no place in the flight plan to put snacks either, but that's what we've been doing.
Roger, the motivation for that is that Deke is sitting down here at the console and he says he's hungry.
Deke must have been using that extra genie, over.
Tell him see if he can find a good candy bar out there in the...
No, he's only going to eat if you all eat.
Okay, well, we've consumed most of it up through starting on day 6. We're about on meal B of day 6, and we have about 2 meals that are not consumed out of that total, over.
Roger, understand.
Also, tell Deke he's really missing something if he doesn't combine that food with water that's filled full of gas, because that's really good for him, over.
Roger.
Hey, Bruce, that star landmark, we never did any of that in the simulator, and we never had any way to practice it. And all we've ever done is Star Horizon. But my opinion of that as a task is far easier than Star Horizon. It would probably be just the way to go for a no-com nav case. You could pick a couple of good sites on the world, which, like out there in Arabia and Baja California, usually always open. Why, it would be a good way to go.
Roger, copy that. And we're still working on reducing the data from your sightings.
Roger, I would think it'd be more, at least as accurate as Star Horizon. The stars, at this point, the brighter stars like Arcturus and Spica filled up the entire crater, so it was really no problem. The smaller stars, the Nebula Gemini and Gemini, they didn't quite fill up the whole crater, but it was so easy to put those things in here and make a mark that it's just no task.
Roger, I understand that Gemini was bright enough against the background to be used for marking, is that correct?
Sure was.
Roger.
Hello, Houston. We're configured and waiting, standing by for your go on the TV. Over.
10, this is Houston. Roger, we'll let you know in a minute. This is Houston. We're go for TV now. Over.
Okay, we'll be coming your way in about 30 seconds.
Roger.
Okay, we'll go over to the right side of the cockpit, and here's Gene Cernan. Right now, Gene and John are vying for the basic contest of who's growing the best mustache.
For Jack Schmidt's sake, this is how we take targets of opportunity. It's been a great trip so far. We worked hard, but it's been very challenging and very rewarding to us as a team here, and I hope to our team down there, because we couldn't be where we are if it wasn't for all you guys down there, and we really appreciate it.
All right, Lieutenant, I'll pass it on to everyone here in the Mocha on the other shifts. And I guess it goes without saying that we admire the fine performance that you all have turned in up there.
Thank you, Bruce. It's really been great. That pass down to the lunar surface at 50,000 feet in the rendezvous, and then shooting on the top part of Snoopy around the sun, and all the landmark tracking and viewing the moon as we saw it, and also that climb out this morning as we left the moon. That's something you just won't ever forget. And it was so fantastic that we just wanted to share it there with you. Over.
Roger.
Here you see Gene turning around a flashlight that's turned on. Now, one thing we use in the spacecraft, because we do have the problem of zero-G, is some material called Velcro, and here you'll see Gene putting a light on one of the knobs, and John is also putting a pencil there. In fact, with just one small piece, he can hold this whole camera that we have. It's only less than 1 inch square, but yet it has the cohesive force to hold the desired object to the surface. Well, we're going to end our TV cast now by again just showing you the Earth and the Moon for one quick glance, and Gene will take the camera and point it out to the moon.
10, this is Houston. Is there anything we could see in the vicinity of the tunnel regarding condensation or anything up there?
Well, we'll take you up in our tunnel there. We got a lot of gear stored in it.
Looks like Snoopy up there to me.
You better believe that might be a part of Snoopy.
Okay, you're looking at the edge of the hatch. There's the hatch handle right there. The basic mechanism of the hatch handle mechanism that opens. Now, if you can see it, there's condensation all over there. It's all wet, and right up there under the tunnel vent lights around the seal is drops of water condensing out. Can you see that water on a tube? Does it show up on a monitor? And there's condensation on the walls of the tunnel as far down as the top of the hatch surface. But there's very little electrical wiring in the tunnel, so we're not really worried about that.
Roger, we can't make out much in the way of water. We can see a little bit of glistening occasionally. That's about the size of it.
That's it. That's it. Well, there's a thin film of drops all over the hatch, and right there.
Roger, we caught something there.
Can you see that?
Roger.
That's the same type of film. It's all over the hatch and the tunnel walls. So a lot on the hatch, on a pressure equalization valve. Look at it right there.
Roger.
Bright shiny spots are water. And like I said before this morning, it's 20 degrees cooler in the tunnel. Very nice up there. The pressure equalization valve is covered with water. Well, every piece of equipment in there, particularly the steel pieces around the seal and pressure equalization valve, are covered with a thin film of water drops. And you can see some even on the hatch mechanism. Can you see the alignment arrows?
Yes, that's
that you used to align the hatch with?
Right, the alignment arrow comes through nicely. Yeah, in fact, we could read, I guess it was gearbox disconnect a few minutes ago.
Roger. This hatch weighs about 80 pounds, or a little better. And in 1G, and in it with the a man that has very great difficulty positioning this thing and installing it and locking it by himself. And zero gravity, it's extremely easy to manipulate and operate, and it was even easy to wrestle it by these hoses the other day, which we had to take it out, put it in 2 or 3 times while we were checking out the lunar module, which was attached just above this hatch. But it was a piece of cake to haul it in and out.
Reports like that are good news for our AAP package handling problems.
I didn't say it'd be easy for AAP, Bruce.
I don't believe you can see it, but there's some big drops of water about the size of a quarter right where John's putting his hand up there right now. Right opposite that tunnel light and opposite the end of the hatch handle. It's on the vertical portion of the hatch. You know,
Right now, John has one of our absorbent towels and is mopping up the water around in that area on the hatch handle.
Roger. Okay, we're getting an outside view again.
Roger. As a matter of fact, I was just up in the tunnel feeling of that. That stuff on the outer hatch seal is not water, it's ice.
Roger, ice.
Okay, Gene is going to focus in on the moon there. I think he's got it. Over.
Roger.
Okay, like Tom did with the Earth, I've turned the moon over for you, and you're looking at the North Pole at the top, the east is to the right, and the south is to the bottom of your screen. You're looking at the main area that we were interested in as far as landing site operation is concerned, the dark area in the middle, the Maria, Sea of Tranquility, Sea of Fertility area. As I say, with the naked eye, this is still very plain and very visible, and this is full zoom on the lens. The relative size, again, at some about 40,000 miles away, both the Earth, from the moon, about 45,000 miles away. Looks like throws up the size of about a nickel at about 18 inches. So with that, we'll leave you Apollo 10 from Tom, John, and Gene saying, we're proud to be here. We're proud to represent so many people back there. It's been a pleasure. It's been hard work, but it's been a tremendous challenge, and we're looking forward to completing a successful landing, and thank you all again.
Roger, Apollo 10. We're looking forward to having you all back in about 2 days here. We're standing by.
Roger, Bruce.
The duration of that transmission was 29 minutes, 5 seconds.
Hello, Houston, Apollo 10.
Go ahead, 10.
Hi, Roger. You've heard our report how we feel healthy and very hardy up here. Just want to report on how our boss is doing, going through the same simulation with the food on the ground. Over.
Stand by a second. The boss just walked out. To go eat, we
He walked out. He's probably about half sick.
What'd you say, Houston?
Roger, we speculate he went out to eat. He came over here to watch the pass, and I guess as a secondary objective to find out whether you all were inserting a meal in the flight plan for today or not.
He had some other conveniences to go with that food that we don't have that might make it taste better.
Roger.
The boss is Donald K. Deke Slayton, Director of Flight Crew Operations. And Deke Slayton was in the viewing room talking to Mrs. John Young at the time the crew asked for a status report from him. I believe he's coming into the control center now and will probably talk to the crew very shortly.
Hello, Houston, Apollo 10. Over.
Go ahead, 10.
Roger, for the GNN Water Delta V, want to reconfirm that the yaw angle is 060 degrees, over.
Stand by.
You know, Houston, if it's 060 degrees, according to the book, on one of these burns, you got to realign the platform. That's too close to the middle gimbal, over.
Roger, we don't want you to have to do that, so we'll waive the 060 bit. Dan Houston, correction there. We will waive the platform realignment and use yaw of 060.
That was afraid you were going to say that.
Dan Houston.
Go ahead, Houston.
Right, I understand you wanted a food report from the 1G test sample down here.
Roger, I said we're doing real good up here. Deke and feel real healthy. Wonder how you were surviving down there on it, over.
I'm surviving real well, except I'm starving to death. That hydrogen up there must be real filling.
It is. I guess that's the only factor that you're missing there, boss, because this water really seems to fill you up, over.
Yeah, we saved some weight on food that way.
All right, good reducing diet. Also, I guess our total BTUs per day is probably a little bit less, particularly after that rendezvous day here, as far as our movements and everything. And when we start to use the extra genie right away, you build up a heat load that 5 psi can't circulate out very well, over.
Right, I expect that's true.
Houston, Apollo 10. Again, I mentioned earlier today, and I guess it got relayed on to you that we're still itching quite a bit from all the insulation that we got in here from the tunnel hatch. And at least after that microbiology, the next thing we want to do after we get aboard the carrier is going to be to take a shower. Over.
Roger, got that message, Tom, and the medics are shaking their head. Yes, that sounds like a reasonable plan to them.
Okay, real good. I wish we had a camera going inside. It looked like 3 people scrambling around in a snowstorm here when that vent valve was opened up there. And the same way over in Snoopy. Snoopy was completely covered with a snowstorm, but we got it fairly well policed up, but it still is settling around all over. And so we've taken care of it the best we can, but I think that's the best way to get rid of the rashes we have. Over. There's no problem, but we just want to shower as soon as we get out.
10 is
Keep cleaning the inflow valve out at regular intervals.
Roger, have you tried using the wet wipes? Do they help any?
Oh yeah, we've taken about the best type of shower we can, and all the skin treatment and everything else, and we keep cleaning the inflow valve to the ECS system at least 3 or 4 times a day. There's still just fine fibers and lint from the fiberglass in there, but we've got everything under hand. But meanwhile, we just itch a little bit. Over.
Roger, we copy, and we'll work on lining up some showers for you.
Okay, thank you now.
At 153 hours 10 minutes, Apollo 10's distance from the Earth is 166,366 nautical miles. Velocity 5,036 feet per second.
Houston, Apollo 10, you can relay on to Deke that we are going to eat another meal before we go to bed, over.
Roger, he's here listening.
Roger, got that message. I'll start mixing
Tell him
up
not
right
to get
now.
hungry down there. Okay, real good, dude.
this is Apollo 10, over.
Go ahead.
Roger, should we be in near deadband for this water dump, over?
Stand by.
What quads do you want enabled and disabled this today?
Roger, Apollo 10. Wide deadband is satisfactory and your DAP is configured properly, over.
Thanks, sir.
And would you give us a mark at 9 minutes to the maneuver, over?
Stand by.
So we can get our clocks synced?
Roger, our clocks are synced and we're counting down to the maneuver. Thank you.
Roger.
Ten, this is Houston.
Go ahead, Houston 10.
Roger, we just got informal word from the from the Princeton that they've got plenty of hot water and soap available on board for you.
Well, thank you very much. Certainly appreciate the effort there.
You sure they're not on water hours?
They said whatever the situation
Is that
was,
hot water, over?
they'd make an exception for you all.
Okay, tell them thanks a lot. Over.
Roger. Apollo 10, this is Houston.
Go ahead, Houston 10.
Roger, for John, Barbara was in here in the viewing room watching the show, and she enjoyed the production and hearing you very much.
I see, thank you.
Roger out.
Houston, Apollo 10, we're in the maneuver attitude and counting down, coming up on 3 minutes to the maneuver, over.
And this maneuver is a wastewater dump. You didn't get it?
Mark, 1 minute to the maneuver.
Roger, 54 seconds and counting.
Roger, would you count us down the last 5 seconds, please, just to make sure we're accurate there when we started, over.
Roger. Roger, 10, stand by. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, flush.
Roger, and we're on the way.
We've got a good ignition. The valves are open. The pressure's good.
Man, it's raining out there.
Houston, at 1 minute, the maneuver looks good, over.
Roger that.
Steering is straight and true.
We got a point 0.000015 G at the moment.
Houston, if Deke's still there, ask him what he thought of that rate of climb this morning after we lit the big afterburner, over.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, Tom. I never seen anything quite like that.
Yeah, neither did I, Deke. All three of us just sat there in amazement, and we just went vertically right out from it. It was really amazing. It's like you really pull back on the pole after the burner was lit you up to VMAX.
Yeah, I'd like to take that ride with you someday.
Oh, sure love to have you.
Boy, that engine really runs. I tell you, that 3/4 of a G felt like about 7 Gs. It's hard to get your head off the off the headrest. I think the really impressive thing about it, though, is the accuracy of which it controls and ends up once you get done with the bird. My golly, doesn't look like we got any work to do much now.
Yeah, that was fantastic, that cutoff.
You know, the guidance systems have really performed for us on this whole mission. In fact, even including the Saturn there. Over.
Roger, no question about it.
Say, Deke, I'm trading John 1 shrimp cocktail for 2 chicken soup, but you don't have that advantage down there, so you just have to stay with what you got.
Yeah, I'm eating Tom's menu, so I don't have much variety there.
Sorry about that.
Actually, the flavor's pretty good down here, Tom. I don't know how it strikes you up there, but in my opinion, it's probably the gas that's giving you the most problem. Basic food.
Right, Deke. Yeah, the food itself, it tastes real good, and those wetbacks are good, and they've made a real great effort. And the only thing is, I'm sure just the water has filled us up so much, and the lack of total activity in here, we're staying completely filled up. There's no doubt about that, but we're just lagging a little bit behind in the total number of meals consumed, over.
Roger, understand. AS10 Houston, we show you about 12.0% now.
Roger, I'm reading about 15. I'll bias it and cut it off at 10.
Okay, we show 10 now.
And we're... Say again?
Roger, we show 9.5% now. You're overburning.
Roger, man, just cut the shut off. We got it. Residuals look like about 0.05% plus.
Houston, roger out.
And Houston, this is 10. Looks like the ISP might have been a little bit low as far as the total burn time was concerned. Over.
Roger, actually in defense of the ECOMs, shortly before the burn, they came up with a revised burn time of about 10 plus 58, so it looks like they were right about in the middle on it.
Oh, roger.
Oh, ECOM's doing the trench work now, huh?
For a maneuver of this sort, yes. Dan Houston, when it's convenient for you, we can take your onboard readouts and crew status report and things of this sort over.
Okay, stand by. It'll be a little while yet. We're right in the middle of this meal, over.
Oh, roger, no rush. We're going to be here for a while yet.
Okay.
ISP is specific impulse, and Apollo 10 dumped about 33 pounds of wastewater in this maneuver.
solid power down the S-band.
Roger. Apollo 10, this is Houston, over.
Go ahead, Houston, over.
Roger, on the high gain antenna, we'd prefer you to leave the antenna powered up, but in the manual mode overnight, over.
Okay, Bruce.
Houston, when you're through with your computer, we'd like to give you a state vector update and update the CMC clock. And do you have any comments on the EMS check, over?
No, we haven't done it yet, over.
Sure, roger, out.
accept, over.
Roger.
This is Apollo Control at 154 hours 15 minutes. We're showing Apollo 10's distance as 163,186 nautical miles, velocity 5,082 feet per second. We're estimating the change of shift news conference for 10:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time.
Apollo 10, this is Houston. We've completed the state vector and clock delta T uplink. We've also performed the verb 66 for you, over.
Houston, we're in a 20-minute wait period with our C&D jets disabled prior to set number 3/10 roll weight.
Roger, your copy. We're through with the computer. We did a verb 66, state vector update, and clock update.
Houston, Apollo 10, over.
Apollo 10, this is Houston, reading you loud and clear, over.
Houston, it's Apollo 10, over. How do you read?
Apollo 10, Apollo 10, this is Houston, reading you loud and clear, over. Apollo 10, this is Houston, over.
Roger, we're not reading you, Bruce. We know you're trying, but we can't make it out.
Roger, 10, we'll keep trying.
Okay, we're loud and clear now.
Okay, we're through with the computer. We gave you a state vector update, a clock update, and we did the verb 66 for you, over.
Thank you. And I was just saying, we're in our 20-minute hold period prior to set number 3/10 rate and going to wide deadband.
Roger, we copy. We'll stick with you until you get set up in PTC, and then I guess we'll bid you a good night. Houston, on our displays down here, we show your rates nulled out sufficiently to proceed with setting up the desired roll rate, over.
Houston, this is 10, over.
Go ahead, 10.
Roger, the EMS test was completed. Worked just like it's supposed to.
Roger. And 10, this is Houston. If you all want to sign off now, we have nothing further for you. I guess we'll expect to hear from you in the same way, I guess down voice backup as in the past.
Roger, we'll be talking to you.
Roger out. Good night.
Night.
This is Apollo Control. You heard Capcom Bruce McCandless bid the crew good night. At the present time, Apollo 10 is 162,122 nautical miles from Earth, traveling at a speed of 5,098 feet per second. This rest period is scheduled to last for 9 hours until about 163 hours ground elapsed time. During the night, we'll give you periodic status reports on the condition of the spacecraft and the position, and we'll be continuing to monitor systems and also the biomedical information on the crew. At 154 hours 38 minutes, this is Apollo Control. This is Apollo Control at 155 hours 24 minutes. Our flight surgeon reports that the crew apparently are still awake. The last time we heard from them was about 50 minutes ago when Capcom Bruce McCandless bid the crew good night. We have biomedical data on Tom Stafford and Gene Cernan. John Young is apparently in the sleep station under the right couch. We don't have biomedical data on him, but the information we're getting from telemetry from Stafford and Cernan indicates that they have not gone to sleep at this time. Apollo 10 is now 159,739 nautical miles from Earth. It's more than 51,000 miles from the moon at this point, and traveling at a speed of 5,135 feet per second. At 155 hours, 25 minutes, this is Mission Control, Houston. This is Apollo Control at 156 hours, 22 minutes. We're continuing to monitor both spacecraft systems and crew biomedical data. The flight surgeon advises us that the crew apparently is still up and about in the spacecraft. We have biomedical data on 2 crewmen, and indicates that from their heart and respiration rates that they are not sleeping at this time. At the present time, Apollo 10 is 156,787 nautical miles from Earth, and the speed continuing to increase slowly, up now to 5,183 feet per second. At 156 hours, 23 minutes, this is Mission Control, Houston. This is Apollo Control at 157 hours, 28 minutes. It appears that the crew is sleeping at this time. The one crewman on whom we have biomedical data, John Young, has been asleep now for about 40 or 45 minutes. All spacecraft systems continue to look good at this time. Apollo 10 is presently 153,450 nautical miles from Earth and traveling at a speed of 5,238 feet per second. At 157 hours, 29 minutes, this is Mission Control. This is Apollo Control at 158 hours, 24 minutes. Apollo 10 now 150,581 nautical miles from Earth, and the spacecraft velocity 5,287 feet per second. We have had no conversations with the crew throughout this shift. After bidding them good night at 154 hours 35 minutes, biomedical data indicated that John Young began to sleep about an hour and a half ago, and it's been relatively quiet here in Mission Control. At 158 hours 25 minutes, this is Mission Control, Houston. This is Apollo Control at 159 hours, 35 minutes. At the present time, Apollo 10 is 146,937 nautical miles from Earth and traveling at a speed of 5,353 feet per second. The crew continuing to sleep soundly, at least according to the telemetry data we're getting on one of the crewmen, John Young. Flight surgeon reports his heart rate in the low 50s, and he seems to be sleeping soundly. We bid the crew good night at 154 hours 35 minutes, which would be just about 5 hours ago, and it appeared that they began going to sleep about 2 hours after the rest period began. The spacecraft cabin temperature has been running around 71 degrees most of the evening, and the fuel cell performance and all other systems performance has been nominal. The spacecraft weight at the present time is 25,240 pounds. That's about 10,000 pounds or so less than Apollo 10 weighed prior to the trans-Earth injection maneuver. Most of the weight difference there accounted for in the SPS burn that took the spacecraft out of lunar orbit. At 159 hours, 36 minutes, this is mission control. This is Apollo control at 160 hours, 41 minutes. Apollo 10 now 143,425 nautical miles from Earth, and the velocity up now to 5,419 feet per second. There's been no change in the status of spacecraft or crew since our last report. The crew continues to sleep. We don't plan to awaken them. Today's activities relatively light, and the plan is to let the crew sleep as long as they wish. The spacecraft has been maintaining very good passive thermal control, rotating at 3 revolutions per hour, and we've had no thruster firings to correct dispersions in the attitude since establishing the passive thermal control. This is Apollo control at 160 hours, 42 minutes. This is Apollo control at 161 hours, 44 minutes. Apollo 10 now 140,097 nautical miles from Earth, and the spacecraft velocity 5,484 feet per second. The crew well into their 9-hour rest period at this point. Normally the rest period would end at 163 hours, a little over an hour and 15 minutes from now. However, because of tomorrow's relatively light schedule as far as the flight plan is concerned, it is planned to let the crew sleep as long as they wish. During the evening, Flight Dynamics Officer has been working up some preliminary figures for mid-course correction number 6, which will probably be the only mid-course required prior to re-entry. That's scheduled to occur, the mid-course correction, scheduled to occur at 176 hours, 50 minutes ground elapsed time. And the preliminary data for that burn is as follows. It would be a 1.2 foot per second maneuver using 2 reaction control system jets. The burn duration would be about 5 seconds, and it would put the spacecraft on target for splash